Weekly update number 34, and we have news about visa turnarounds. We also have a start warning about the documents that you hand over at the appointment, and something that's come up the last 2 weeks since September that we haven't really seen before. We've also got our YouTube comments and some great feedback from our clients and friends out there in the Upsticks community who have sent us photos and information about their life in Spain. So stick around for weekly update number 34. So weekly update number 34, and we're back in Malaga, and it's already been a busy week, I can tell you. Incredible the amount now of people who want to come over before the end of the year. We have this situation now where some people are selling their properties, and this is timing issue. I really want to do another video about the timing your visa, because it's coming up an awful lot. It comes up, right, it's all this capital gains issue, it's a tax issue. Will you get taxed? So people who are selling their properties, that money needs to be in the bank before the end of the year for them to move over late the part of this year or the beginning of next year, or they have to wait until the second half of next year because of tax reasons. So I would encourage you to have a look at our podcast with Jeremy Ferguson. That was a really good podcast. He was talking about capital gains, the liabilities and timing and stuff like that. But general timing as well. We've had lots of people talking to us about, well, when do I start my visa? When do I get my rental? We normally work, it's so hard because you don't know when the visa is going to be released. You're dealing with so many different elements. So how can you nail it all down? Well, we normally, this time of year, start working to what they call the 6-8 structure, where it's 6 to 8 weeks to get your documents prepared and everything in place. And then once you've been to your appointment, 6 to 8 weeks for the visa to come out, albeit they can take up to 90 days. But as you're going to find out now, there's a huge disparity in the amount of times the visas are taking. Another thing is, if you do see, I started doing this now where when the visas come out, I'm telling you the times and where they're from, because I think it's very, very useful information for people who will be moving and doing their planning. If you guys are watching this video and you see questions on Facebook, I don't share our videos on Facebook ourselves, but I do encourage everybody else to. So if you've got people asking about how long does a visa take, just encourage them to watch the weekly updates and watch the past weekly updates, more so from weekly update number 30 when I started doing this. So please share and let people know that I am updating from our experience what's happening. So on that note, big congratulations to Mick. I know he watches the channel, so I know you're going to be watching me. So Mick, well done. He worked really hard to get all his paperwork together with us, and got himself to an appointment 22 days ago and got his visa. 22 days. That is a Manchester to Murcia. Okay, in 22 days. So well done. I've got this fear that I think we've still got a few hanging about which are taking a while, and they're coming to that 90-day point, that I feel sometimes in summer, and it doesn't just happen with a consulate, it happens with other Spanish administration offices that we see, is that they sort of deal with what comes in September as it comes in, and then the backlog sort of gets dealt with at the same time rather than dealing with the backlog first. That's the feeling I get. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But looking at the times, that's sometimes the feeling I get. So well done, Mick, and you've already got your travel booked, I know that, and you're on your way to your new place in Malaga Murcia next month. So well done. And 22 days. Now, warning. Something that's been happening the last couple of weeks, and I want to tell you about it. We get requirement letters, recomiendos. So it's quite often, there's 2 requirement letters that we get very, very often, and we've seen this year. London, always asking for proof of origin of funds, even though people have given it to them, so they want explanations of where the money has come from in people's bank accounts. Manchester, this year, new for Manchester, further explanation on no live trace results on acros. We've seen that. That's for those 2. Now, what we've seen the last 2 weeks is that Manchester and London, mainly London, have been asking for documents that people were told they didn't need to hand over at their appointment. It's crazy. So have they changed staff? I don't know. The staffing experience at the moment they've got on, I don't know. But the two main ones are, I'm going to tell you, so if you are going to your appointment, just beware. The S1 registration. Remember, when you go, if you're an S1 applicant, you have to have your S1, and you also have to have your registration that you've registered that S1 with the Social Security. We know that registration is actually quite farcical because you haven't got the documents to complete it. We then get a letter when we do it saying you haven't sent the correct documents. We know we haven't sent the correct documents. But then when people come to Spain, we'll then occasionally we'll get a letter saying, well, we've closed your case because you haven't sent the right documents. We know that. But when you get to Spain, TIE card padron, we then apply for your healthcare all over again, so it's not a problem. But you do need that registration. Now, two of our clients have been told that when they got to the appointment, they don't need that registration. They've been given it back, and then we get a letter from the consulate saying you didn't hand over your S1 registration. So I'm afraid you have to insist, give them that. So just take that anyway and clip it, please, to my S1. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing is P45s. You do need, if you qualify for a P45, maybe you're self-employed or something, so you don't, or you're a pensioner, so you don't. But if you're in that bracket where you need to hand over a P45, twice now, on two occasions, last 2 weeks, clients have been told, oh, we don't need them. So that's very strange. And then we've received letters saying, please, can you give us your P45 because you didn't hand it at the initial appointment. So just beware of that. Okay then, and then the last point in this section, I don't want to go on too long, is from Stuart and Joanne. They have sent me, and luckily I'm recording this on the Saturday, so I managed to get their email in because I was actually struggling. It's been a really busy week, and I've come back from Cadiz. We've got a video coming out soon, we'll talk about that. And I was struggling for content this week because I hadn't put anything together. So thank you guys for sending this across because it's given me something to put in. So basically, they've been to pick up their cards in a place called Cartagena, which is one of the police stations that we use in Murcia. And they just sent me some information through. Unfortunately, their cards, they had the wrong address put on it. Well, it was the right address, but it was missing a letter. So we're going to update that and get that sorted out for them. It's not a real big problem, not really a problem in terms of your residency status or anything like that. But really, you do want to get it updated. And some people, if it's a, if it's just say a small mistake, we'll wait till the renewal to get it updated, to be honest with you, because most authorities use the padron. But yeah, so anyway, they got their cards with a small mistake on the address, which isn't uncommon from the police, and they just gave us their experience with picking up the cards, because we don't go to that appointment when you pick up the cards. We do send our service specialists, our appointment specialists, to the actual application, but to pick them up, we don't do that. We don't need to. So just to share their experience for just a bit more info for further clients, I'm going to read it out to you. And hopefully I'm going to get to meet Stuart and Joanne when I go to Murcia. I'd love to do a video with them because they've given us some fantastic information. And actually I have a phone call tomorrow with their pet transport guy. So hopefully we'll be able to get him on the show as well. And we've got an article coming about that when we got time to get it on as well. I've got it written, I just got it get it revised, that's all. About their experience with bringing pets over. So, Cartagena. We arrived early. There were 2 underground multi-story car parks on Calle Real, which is the main street that runs past the olive station and the police station, I think that should be, and then alongside the Naval Museum base, white and yellow wall. So, the multi-story car parks are great. I didn't use them actually when I went. What I did was I took a right, went over the bridge and found some free parking within the streets there. If you check out our video, the police station Cartagena, which I will put below, so let me write a note about that, video Cartagena. It is below, check it out, and that's going to give you all the details you need. Plus check out the multi-story car parks that are mentioned in this email. The car parks are called Plaza del Par. If you search police station Cartagena on Google Maps, the 2 car parks show on the map just along the road from the police station. are situated just off the first roundabout along Cayette Real. Okay, so your car parks are just down the end. There's a lovely walk actually from them to the police station. They're quite tight, as a lot of underground car parks are here, and not much space to manoeuvre. And this is why I was getting that little dinky Upsticks drive car everywhere. The cost was approximately €4, and we're in there about a total of 3 hours, nice and cheap. And we previously found a lovely little Mexican cafe directly across the street from the police station. Check out these photos. So check this out. I've actually been to this cafe. I stayed around the corner when I went to Cartagena to check out the police station, and we started using it. Every winter, or every autumn, winter or spring, depending on how it falls, I would generally do a trip, because we're based in Malaga, through Almeria to Murcia to Alicante to Valencia, just to see all the people who work with us. I believe it's good to do it in person, check how everything's going, and if we're going to amplify our network of police stations and translators and service specialists, well, we'll go and visit the places and make sure we've got the correct content to give to our clients, and also to get on our YouTube channel. So I've sat here and had a coffee. It was brilliant. We had a coffee each and a tostada con mermelada, which cost €4.40. Great value for a city cafe. There's a nice vibe in the cafe, really friendly staff, and seating inside and out. Literally outside the cafe, there is a little seating area under an olive tree for a bit of shade if it's hot. The police station is literally across the road, and you can't miss the police station. It's this big sort of lime green building. It's crazy. We arrived at the door where you go for the TIA appointment and collections at the rear of the police station. The process is a police officer comes out of the door with a list. You pretty much have to wave your appointment sheets in the air to get attention. Yeah, it's normal. Normally a few people standing there doing the same. After a couple of goes, the police officer acknowledged us and checked his sheet, and then 5 minutes later came out and called our names. When you go in, there's a small seating area of 6 chairs and 3 or 4 booths in front of the waiting area, manned by police officers. When they came over, they asked for the appointment letter and passport. Very important to have your appointment either on your phone or in paper format. Then they ask you to rescan your fingerprints for the identification, just your index finger. Is that your index finger? Yes. Then they pass you to your passports back, and that's it. You've got your cards. Well done, guys. Congratulations. Okay then, right, so that was what's been happening with our appointments. No, actually, 1 second, I have one more thing. So this section's going on today a little bit, isn't it? But I did want to tell you about the problems that we had with one EU appointment. Now, we had one EU appointment where we lined it up as we always do, but the objection was from the police officer because the NIE was originally given with a British passport, and we're now getting EU residency with an Irish passport, that the person had to have something from the Irish consulate to prove that they had renounced their UK citizenship. Ridiculous. I don't know where they got that from. That's crazy, absolutely craziness. So this was what we did, was we politely stepped away from that police station. We booked another appointment in a different one, because you can go to different ones in the same province. Luckily in Malaga, we do have quite a varied selection of places we can go. We added a letter there, actually, we got from the Irish consulate in 2019, which basically just states that the bearer of the passport is allowed to have more than one nationality, but the letter's 6 years old now. And we only ever had it digitally, but we put a copy in anyway. And then we went to another police station, and lo and behold, the residency wasn't a problem. But if you did get your NIE number using a British passport, okay, and you want to get residency using your Irish passport, then make sure you've at least got a copy of your British passport, or take the original with you anyway, so they can verify it's you from your passport. If you've updated your passport, there's nothing you can do about it. You'll have to just take the current British one. And yeah, if you do get told any sort of craziness about having to renounce your British citizenship, it's just not correct. It just isn't. It's crazy. Anyway, what's been happening on our YouTube channel? So on our YouTube channel, we've had some lovely comments actually this week. The first thing I wanted to talk about on our YouTube channel is I have been uploading onto the YouTube channel some 360-degree video tours. Now, with these videos, when you watch them, okay, you can actually scroll around 360 degrees on your mobile, or you can move it to see, but it's actually easy if you just hold it in your hand and scroll around. They are all in 4K resolution, but YouTube automatically puts it in the lowest resolution. So you have to go to the little cog at the top right hand side, hit the settings, go to the resolution, or go to the viewing, the viewing resolution, I think it's called. In fact, I should really just tell you, shouldn't I, what it's actually called here, and choose 4K option. Just remember, it's best if you do it on Wi-Fi, because it does use a lot of data if you don't. Now, the idea behind these, so you go to your settings and you go to quality. Right, go to settings, go to quality, and choose the correct quality. I've always dreamed of getting these kind of videos on where people feel like they're in Spain. I know it's a bit crazy, but I think it's a really good way of actually knowing what it's like to be here. It's going to encourage people, even more people, to move. They're not getting a lot of views at the moment. I'm going to be honest, I thought they'd get more views. But please, check them out. I'm going to be doing one a week, hopefully. Okay, I've stacked some up now. The next 4 weeks, we're going to be publishing some from Cadiz. We've got the Cadiz Cathedral outside tour in the Cathedral Square. We've got the Cadiz, the walk up to the Castillo de San Sebastian. Okay, beautiful. 7:30 in the morning that's taken. Just spin it around and check the sunset as I'm walking. It's amazing. And we've also got one from the Cadiz Park Genovese, and one from the Old Town Hall Square. So check those out, and share please as well, so we can get some more views on them. But if you've got any suggestions of places you'd like to see in Malaga, please let me know and I'll go. The only thing is, it is a little bit embarrassing for the family, because I'm walking right in the middle of a crowd with a 3-meter stick like this, with the camera on top of it, and I just generally walk straight through the middle of everybody, so you get the odd comment, but I don't really care, to be honest with you, as long as it comes on the channel and people enjoy it. So there we go. Right then, so let's start off with our weekly update from last week from Cadiz. It was Ant & Care's great video, our favourite place in Spain. Looking forward to seeing your follow-up video from Cadiz. Yeah, I've been editing that today, actually. That'll be out in the next couple of weeks or so, the video from Cadiz. I didn't plan it very well. Planning. Need to plan my videos a bit better instead of just shooting around everywhere. The next one, 6-month rule abolished. This one from Barry Onions 9893. Barry, I think I'm waiting for a call confirmation from you, because I have on my call list tomorrow to call somebody called Barry Onions. Is that you? Same Barry? Hi Chris, I just emailed you via the website for some help with my daughter's residency. That must be you then. Barry, I've got you on my list to call you tomorrow, but I've still got it as TBC, which means you haven't answered the email to Jane, but I'll call you anyway. Okay, so the next one is from our weekly update. Patrick Connell, 8187. Thanks for your constant support on the channel. Patrick, is really, really appreciated. Nice one, Chris. Well done on keeping the concentration on the walk around. And definite applause for keeping it in spite of the tour group in front of the cathedral. Yeah, to be honest with you, I kept wanting to turn around, but yeah. What else have we got here? Raquel Gonzalez, Asparas. Okay, Raquel Gonzalez Paras, 9930. Hi, once the UK car is registered in Spain and it's new registration plates, what are we supposed to do with the old UK plates? Well, once you've taken them off, as long as you've informed the UK that you have exported the vehicle, you don't have to send the plates back. You can do anything with them. So the plates we have from the vehicle we imported last year, we just keep in the office. But evidently you can't keep them in the car. You definitely can't keep them in the car. Okay. And what else have we got here? Documents you don't need for a non-lucrative visa renewal. A comment from Karen France. Hello, thanks for the update. I assumed that we wouldn't need another apostilled and translated copy of our marriage certificate. Will we need to provide this again? Thanks. Okay, well, yes and no, depending on the division of your assets. If your assets are only in one person's name, or one person has the passive income or has the savings, then generally you will need a new marriage certificate. If it's joint assets and it's a joint account, then you may not. Okay, so there's definitely an assessment once you've seen the financial paperwork to go through to decide whether you need one or not. But sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's the answer to that. So it depends on the structure of the finances that you are presenting. Frank Flex 4465. Any advice about bringing a car from Canada to Spain, so I'm retiring there. I've recently renewed my NIE with an Italian passport, so that's why I live in Spain 17 years ago. Any help would be greatly appreciated. And that is from our registering a car in Spain, when to get the insurance video, which I didn't think anybody watched. So I'm over the moon that someone's watched that video. It has very low watches. Okay then, Frank, right, well, for change of residence, you can bring a vehicle in. Don't forget that it's best that it comes directly into Spain, and the people transporting it will need all your proof that you've changed residency to Spain to get a document called a DUA. And a DUA proves that it's been bought in tax-free. Once you're here in Spain, the fact that it hasn't got European conformity isn't a problem, because you can pass your ITV test, which is a technical inspection for change of residence with all your residency documents. In fact, we did a Vespa from Canada this week. Can you believe it? A Vespa that came all the way from Canada, and we've had that registered here. So aside from that, if you're in our area, Frank, give us a shout, drop us an email, and when you've got your vehicle over here, we can help you register it. Here we go. Elaine Taylor, 1402. Great video. This is our Cardiff update. Great video, Chris. We love Cardiff. Didn't know it was worth mentioning, but if anyone is looking to rent in Spain long term, we have found it extremely difficult to get anything across the range of prices. We also have a dog, which is another difficulty to deal with. Hopefully we've found something not in our preferred area. It is rentals. It is crazy. It's one thing I just don't have a magic wand and solution for, and I've been trying so hard. If I was to win the lottery, I think I would buy a hotel. Okay, get it out, turn it into little apartments, and I would have temporary accommodation for people who are coming over. We'll make sure you could get a padron, and then, you know, give everybody a year contract until they decided that until they found their place. Because ideally, that's what you need, don't you? You need to come into a place somewhere which will give you a year contract, but you're free to leave when you find that ideal place that you're actually looking for. So if I do win the lottery and buy a hotel, you know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to turn it into temporary accommodation for people who can't get their ideal accommodation to live in, so they can get themselves correctly registered and get here, because rental market at the moment is crazy and expensive. And last but not least, the Norville 2 sat right in the place where you're sitting now. In the summer, they have a lot of things happening right in that square. Cadiz is the hardest place in the world to find a parking place. Yet use the undergrounds. That's it. There's 2 underground car parks, huge, pretty cheap, and walk. Cadiz, that's it. There's absolutely no point in trying to find parking on the road in Cadiz. Okay then, right, let's crack on with what's happening here in Spain. And we've got some great stuff back from our clients. Right, so now what's happening in Spain, and we have some great feedback from our clients. Thanks, guys. You actually saved me this week because I had nothing prepared at all. It's been a really busy week. Got back from Cadiz, huge week, and now yesterday was quite busy as well, just catching up and tying everything up for next week. And yes, so you've saved me here. So first of all, thanks to Steve and Pam for sending me through some pics. And just an update, now they've had I hope you've got a diary going on, because they had a real mission to get some apostilles and get to the appointment on time, which they successfully did when they got their visas. And now another saga. This is their story. We boarded the plane. They're coming over, visas in hand. Just can't wait to get here. Another plane. We boarded the plane in Gatwick. Sat in it for 3 hours. We're trying to rectify a technical fault. They then offloaded us and found a replacement plane, but the captain was over his hours, so had to find a standby pilot. She then found a cockpit fault, so spent another 2 hours on the apron in the replacement plane. They then said that Murcia would be closed, so they would fly us to Alicante and bus us back to Murcia. After another hour, they scrapped that and cancelled the flight. Off we went to the hotels and came back the next day for a special flight that was then delayed. Arrived 24 hours late. Oh, you've had a journey, haven't you? Now, one thing about that is, can you get compensation? Now, I've had 2 family members and a friend this year get compensation back from Ryanair with no argument at all for delays of over 3 hours where they were sat in the airport. Sometimes they load you on the plane. If you're on the plane, you can't claim it most of the time. But if you're in the airport over 3 hours, you can get compensation. It was 300 quid. It wasn't money to be sniffed at. So anyway, they've applied for their padrons. They've got to collect them on the 23rd of September and check these photos out. There you go. That's Stephen Pam finally getting here. A lovely cracking photo of your villa there. That's amazing. And having a drink finally. And I have to say, that is an extremely funky shirt. Yeah, I like that shirt. That's nice. Yep, I'd look good in that shirt, I think, as well. You have to let me know where you get that. But I'm going to get you a T-shirt over to you as well, Steve. So next photo I want to see with your T-shirt on. They've got their appointment booked, which is great for the TIE registrations, and that's it. Another photo here from Andrew. Our client is right at the beginning of the process, hasn't had his appointment yet, but the documents are nearly ready to go. And he sent me this. Now, we were talking about this, and can you let me know your experience if you've got any? Do you have one of these pumps in Spain? Because I didn't think you could get them here, or you could get the kegs here, but apparently you can directly from the website. So Andrew's done his research, and now he's managed to encourage me, and I think that that might be my Christmas present there, because my birthday present I've already got, which and he said happy birthday weekend, and cheers, sent me that photo, so thanks. Yet today, believe it or not, it's my birthday, 46. Oh, okay then. And then apart from that, what else have we got? Here's some pictures. Now, these are going to be also on our Cadiz video, but I just wanted to show you here of the, if you do go to Cadiz, the two things that you have to try. Okay, so these are almejas from Cadiz, and they're from the Bay of Cadiz. They're just gorgeous. A little bit of parsley, a little bit of garlic on them, and they serve them in the restaurants, and they're amazing. And the other thing is obviously the razor clams, which is special to the area as well. They're just incredible, and I love seafood, especially shellfish. So if you go to Cadiz, you have to try these two. And the last thing that I was going, if you can hear something screaming in the back, that's my old crazy cat. She's 20 years old, a little bit doolally, but she's fine. So just it's a bit crazy at the moment, but she's fine on herself. So we leave her to it. It's just sort of moaning around in the background. So, and the other thing I wanted to show you was, now summer, did you overdo it this summer? I don't know. I have to say summer was very hectic for me. We had a lot of visitors, which ensued a lot of barbecues. I was also a lot of work. So I did very little exercise between one thing and another. And the doctor told me I need to lose some weight, which is very sensible. So one of those things that you need to do is probably have a break from the vino and the cerveza and the quite heavy foods, and maybe stick to the veg for a while, which is what I have been doing. But I have, so dare I say this as well, I have been drinking non-alcoholic beer. And for those of you who have to, maybe for medical reasons, or maybe you're just trying to lose a little bit of weight like me. Now, I'm not too sure that non-alcoholic beer isn't as fattening as just normal beer. But there is one thing, that if you do get home and you fancy a beer, instead of having a normal beer, you could have one of these. That'll take that away. You can carry on with your diet. And I found this one. Okay, Aguila. Now, I actually like the normal Aguila, and I saw they did an alcoholic one. I thought, oh, I'm going to try that. And they call it sin filtrado, so it's unfiltered beer. So when you get it, it's cloudy. And that is the best one so far. And I really like it. And believe it or not, so if you, for any reason you can't drink, but you still want to be part of the party, these, and it's 22 calories for 100 ml, and the bottles are 330, so also 60, let's call it 70 calories a bottle. Okay, which isn't too bad either. And if I would suggest you get those, if you, for any reason, need to drink non-alcoholic, but you're going to a party and you want to feel part of it, look at that. Brilliant. That's the best one I found. Some of them are really naff, I have to say. Some of them are really good. But I'm going to spread more experience about the non-alcoholic beers during my dieting period, which looks like, at the moment, the way it's going, could last till about Christmas. Anyway, okay then, guys, thank you very much for watching the weekly update number 34, number 35 coming up next Sunday between 6 and 9 o'clock. During the week, please check out the 360 videos. As I say, change the go to a Wi-Fi area. Don't use your mobile data unless you've got lots, because it will chew it up. Use the cog to go to 4K, and you'll see they're just absolutely amazing. And we're going to get some more informative videos out on the channel, and we have got our Cadiz video coming up as soon as I finish it in the next couple of weeks. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.